already. So we'll continue with the review exponential rules and application problems. And in the last video, we talked about how to solve some of those questions. And then now, and we'll continue with the second lesson or the second part of this. So yesterday, we're basically completing this last question, 13 to the negative n equal 1 over 13 to the negative 2. Now let's see, how can we find the value of the n value? N. So what two ways you can do. So what is the question is given? Eyes on the screen, everyone. 13 to the negative n equal 1 over 13 to the negative 2, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this negative 13 to the negative n into the denominator. Watch what happens. So I'm going to bring this down. The negative becomes positive. And then this is 13 to the negative 2. Now compare these two. Tell me what is the n value, guys. What do you guys think? What's the n value? What's the n value in this? When you look at these two, in place of n, what do you see? Put them in the chat box. In place of n, what number do you see? Put them in the chat box. In place of n, I can see there's a negative 2 on it. That's right, because you see these type of questions on the test, and then you can see like, oh yeah, let's see that. So the n is negative 2. Okay, and you will see these questions on the test too. So I want you guys really familiar with these type of questions. All right. All right, next slide. Now look at this question. Now let's see. Angela, please read this question for me.
Rewrite the expression 9 negative 8 times 3 to the power of 0 over 2 to the power of negative 1 using only positive exponents. Show your work.
So it's in this question, very important is positive exponents. So do I have any negative exponents? Yes. You see this negative 1 here, negative 8 here. So that's what they're saying. So make these positive exponents. To make it positive exponents, what do I need to do? If the negative exponent is on the top, like for example, this formula. Remember, we use this negative exponents. If I have a negative exponent here, I bring it to the denominator. Or if the negative is in the denominator, I'll bring it to the numerator. So that's what I need to do, okay? So, and let me go back here. Now, so since we know that negatives we can change, and also 3 to the 0, anything power 0 is 1. So I'm going to just ignore that. So I only need to switch these two, then I'm done. So I can just switch this 2 to the top. That's going to be 2 to the positive 1. And then 9, negative 8, I'll make it to the, bring it down, it becomes positive 8. And then 3 to the 0, it's 1. Because 3 to the 0, it's 1. So if I simplify this or write it one more step to make a conclusion, 2 to the 1 is 2, and then times 1 is, that's it, and then 9 to the positive 8. So when I see this one, all of the terms are positive exponents. I don't see any negative exponent, so I'm good to go. Done. Now take some time, try to solve it on your own, so that way you can get a really good idea of these type of questions you see, and then you know how to do these questions. Let's see, let's clean this up. Next slide. Now, I want you guys to look at these questions. See, I'm gonna give you guys a minute to see if we can try or solve some of these questions. Oops, going back. And then we can go over these. Okay, now let's look into these questions and let's go one by one. Which of the following is equivalent to 4 to the negative 9? What does that mean? Like when you solve these ones, we need to get a 4 to the negative 9. Let's see which one is going to be the equivalent. So the first one, what do I need to do? I see the same basis. What do I need to do with the exponents? Put them in the chat box. I have the same basis. I am multiplying. That's right. Good job. Add them. So you keep the base 9 plus -1. Again, 9 plus -1 is nothing but 9 minus 1, which is 4 to the positive 8. That is not the right. Okay, now let's go to this one. And then when I see this one, to the power 0, what's the value of the power 0? We use the chat box again. It doesn't matter what you have inside, but you see a 0 outside, it's going to be, it's a 1. Because anything power 0 is always 1. It doesn't matter what you have inside. That's 1. That doesn't come again. Now this one, it's a positive 9 in the denominator. But if I bring it to the top, it becomes -9. Ooh, looks like that's my answer. But let me check this one too. And then 4 to the 0 is 1. And then 4 to the 9 over 1 is just basically 4 to the 9. Because anything you divide by 1, you get the same thing. So this one is positive 9. So it doesn't match with the, so no. So your answer is C. That is equivalent to that. Now, Benjamin choose A is the correct answer. How might have gotten this answer? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Why you guys think he got a right answer? What did he do mistake? Put him in the chat box. That's right. He thought he was going to multiply them. No, it's wrong, because when you have the same basis, you add the exponents. That's what you should be getting. So he multiplied them. Multiplied exponents, which is wrong. Which is wrong. So what do you need to supposed to do it? You have to add the exponents. So you have the same basis in multiplication, add the exponents. All right, makes sense? Good. All right, I'll pause this one. Make sure you guys get this one done, and then we'll continue more. Okay, so once you're done with this, pause the video, take it, try to understand that is important. Not just copying is not going to help, but understand the questions and make sure you guys can do it on your own. That way you can do well on the whatever the test comes out or the quiz comes out. All right, let me clear this one. Move on to the next slide. Now these are the equations, the one we did it at the beginning. Now let's try these ones. Give me 1 second. Let's try first. I'm going to pause it, and then you guys can try first, and then we can check these answers. So now let's come into this question right here. And then you're looking at it, so you can see this, when you're same bases and you're dividing them, it's a quotient rule. You subtract these two. So some number minus 5 gives you 7. So what is that number? You got it. Okay. Or if I want to show you work, what I'm going to do, I keep the base and I write it x minus 5, which is 8 to the 7. I know x minus 5, it's 7. Or you can do it just like a little math. So x equal 12. Or simply you can say, what number minus 5 gives you 7, which is 12 minus 5, it's 7. So x is 12. So faster, quick. Okay, like that, you can always do this type of questions without, one way you can solve the step by step, or you can think and then you can answer them pretty simply. Okay, let me pause it for the next one. I want you to guys try the next question and then we can go over that too. All right, next try the next one and follow the same rules that we already learned. So the first thing is I see the same bases, so I'm going to add these two. And then I see the same bases, the quotient rule, you subtract these two. Okay, so let's try this. So I'm going to keep the base -11 to the x plus 4, -11 to the 10 minus 3. You guys understand? Which rule is that? What do I need to subtract? Which rule is that? Put them in the chat box. Quotient rule. Okay, quotient rule. So 10x plus 4, it's a 7. What plus 4? It's 7. That's what you guys need to do. Okay, so that's going to be negative 11 to the x plus 4, negative 11 to the 10 minus 3, 10 minus 3, 7. Now what plus 4 gives you 7? Put them in the chat box. That's right, x equals to 3. Because 3 plus 4 is 7. That's it. You don't need to even like solve. You can look at them, you can get it right away. So 3 plus 4 is 7, so x value is 3. Okay, like that. We solve these type of questions. And you have 1 or 2 questions on the test also. So make sure you guys do good. All right, let's do the next slide. Okay, now similar type of question, but this is again with the equations on it. So let's go over this one quickly. 6 to the x to the 10, and then 6 to the 12 to the 2, and 6 to the 4. So we have a couple of questions, couple of variables and how to solve them. So eyes on the screen, so I'm going to go over this one with you quickly so you can see it. Now, oops, there, where, that's not the one. There. So one thing we can see, when you have power to the power, what we do, using the chat box, power to the power, what do you guys do? Power to the power. Power to the power. Power to the power, multiply, that's right. So you multiply them, so you multiply these two. You always remember those rules. Cheat sheet that I send it to you guys. Right, so x times 10, that is 10x. And then here, then you multiply these two, that is 6 to the 24 over 6 to the 4. Now when I see the same bases and you subtract them, so that's going to be 6 to the 10x equal 24 minus 4. Okay, so 6 to the 24 minus 4, that is going to be 20. Okay, now 10x is 20, or 10 times what number gives you 20? Put them in the chat box. 10 times what number? There you go. So then you don't need to solve anymore. Just look at it. 10 times what number gives you 20? So the x is 2. Done. That's what you got to do. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so please make sure you guys try these questions one more time. Go back and then review them. So that way you get a really good understanding of this concept.